In less than 7 days, this World Cup has produced more history than entire tournaments used to in 39 days. Two legends chasing immortality, the smallest nation ever to play and score, the most red cards ever in an opener, a 41-year-old becoming the oldest outfield starter ever. This is not normal. This is the greatest opening week in World Cup history, and here is every single record broken so far. Before a single ball was even kicked, 2026 already made history. 48 teams instead of 32, 104 matches instead of 64. The first World Cup ever co-hosted by 3 sovereign nations. FIFA staged 3 full-scale opening ceremonies within 48 hours. Mexico City, Toronto, and Los Angeles, each with completely different performers and production. This tournament was always going to be historic by design. Nobody expected it to also be this dramatic.
The very first match set a record nobody wanted. Mexico versus South Africa produced 3 red cards in a single game. South Africa finished with 9 men. It is officially the worst disciplinary opening match in World Cup history. That same day, Canada finally ended one of the longest winless World Cup droughts ever recorded, drawing Bosnia after losing all 6 of their previous World Cup matches across 2 different tournaments. Then came one of the most emotional records of the tournament. Curaçao, population just 150,000, became the smallest nation to ever compete at a World Cup. They lost 7-1 to Germany. But Livano Comenia's 21st minute strike also made them the smallest nation to ever score a World Cup goal. Germany's 7 goals tied their second largest victory margin in World Cup history, and it was just the 3rd time since 2002 any team has scored 7 or more goals in a single match.
Then, the moment everyone was waiting for, Lionel Messi became the joint all-time leading goal scorer in World Cup history with his hat trick against Algeria, his very first World Cup treble ever. He also broke the record for most matches ever played at a World Cup, 26 appearances, passing Lothar Matthäus on the exact same day he tied the scoring record. Messi achieved 2 historic records in the same match. And remarkably, he is now just 1 win away from breaking Klose's record of 17 World Cup victories too. On the very same day, Mbappe scored a brace against Senegal, extracting revenge for France's 2002 World Cup defeat to the same nation, and became just the 3rd player ever to score for France across 3 different World Cup editions. Erling Haaland then scored a brace in Norway's first World Cup match in 28 years, becoming the first player ever to score a brace for Norway at a World Cup. 5 players in that Norway squad weren't even born the last time Norway played at a World Cup. Age records fell constantly too. Curaçao's coach Dick Advocaat became the oldest manager ever at a World Cup at age 78, a record that changed hands 3 times in a single week. Manuel Neuer became Germany's oldest ever player at a major tournament at 40 years and 79 days old. And Cristiano Ronaldo set the record for oldest outfield player ever to start a World Cup match, 41 years and 123 days old, while also becoming just the 2nd man in history, alongside Messi, to play at 6 different World Cups. England's win over Croatia produced its own pile of records. Harry Kane became just the 2nd England player ever to score at 3 different World Cups, joining David Beckham. Jude Bellingham became only the 3rd man in history to scoring 2 World Cup games before turning 23, joining Pele and Michael Owen. And Marcus Rashford became the first English player ever to score 2 World Cup games as a substitute. England also won 3 straight World Cup openers for the first time in their history. Even television history is being rewritten. Telemundo drew 12.1 million viewers for Mexico's opener, the most watched World Cup match in U.S. Spanish-language television history. Fox's coverage of USA versus Paraguay averaged nearly 16 million viewers, more than double their numbers from the last World Cup. America is not just hosting this tournament. America is watching it like never before. And this is genuinely just the beginning. Experts predict this tournament could finish with over 280 goals, more than 100 above the current World Cup record. 2 living legends are still chasing the all-time scoring record outright. 7 days in, this many records. Imagine what the next 32 days have in store. We are tracking every single record for the rest of this tournament. Subscribe so you don't miss the next piece of history. Pitchova, football made simple.